I'm Jennifer McHugh, and this is James Knapp, otherwise known as Jimmy. You prefer Jimmy?
I do, yes.
Jimmy plays Phillip in our production of Orphans, and I actually got to know Jimmy in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest when I was the evil Nurse Ratched, and he was the sweet Billy Bibbit?
Billy Bibbit.
Billy Bibbit?
Yep, who you pretty much made me kill myself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I literally made you kill yourself over, how many? It's like, every show.
Every show.
And it was really awful because that final scene that we have together, you ended up at my feet and crying, and I feel like I even touched your beautiful hair, but I still was like, it was not fun. I felt really horrible.
That's okay.
But I
forgive you.
Thank you, and you came back.
I did, yeah,
to
absolutely.
audition for another show. Yeah. You came to audition for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and you were new to us at that point. And because I wanted to be in that production, I actually was not in the audition room, so I was in the, out in the checking people in. Mm-hmm. And then you met Richard.
Yes, I did.
And were you prepared for his style of auditioning? Did you have an idea of what you were walking into?
I don't think I really had any idea what I was walking into, but I've worked with directors who, kind of block shows similar to him, where it's kind of just, you move how you think your character would move, and if I don't like what you're doing, then I'll tell you. He is very passionate. He has a vision. He wants to make sure he, creates that vision as accurately as possible. Mm-hmm. And, he's not, aggressive or anything like that, but he's definitely stern, make sure you know what you have to do. And I wouldn't say I was unprepared for it, but it was definitely something new. But I think he's definitely probably the best director I've ever worked with so far. Yeah. So I've definitely learned a lot from him.
Well, he brings amazing things out of the actors.
Oh, yeah.
So, watching your progress, through Billy. So you would take the notes and then come in the next day, and it was remarkable. So tell us about your character in Orphans. Tell us about Phillip.
So Phillip is, definitely a screw loose, up in the attic, but, or I mix up my analogies, but he's, very childish, hasn't left the house in probably 15, 20 years, and really the only thing keeping him down, keeping him stuck in the house is the, boot of his big brother Treat, just kind of on his neck at all times of the day.
And Phillip has a love of life, even though he hasn't really lived life.
Right.
It's this wonderful interior world, I think, that he's created.
Oh yeah, and also, still being able to watch TV, see the outside world, look out the window, watch people walk by. I feel like that kind of gives him a stronger appreciation of life because, it's something that, hey, maybe one day I'll see it. Right. It makes him excited to see people walking by. He likes to make up stories, background stories for these people in his head.
He's hopeful.
He's very hopeful. Yeah.
What's your favorite line of dialogue that Phillip says?
Well, it has to be prefaced with a line Harold says, Phillip, you like breasts? And then I respond, oh, I like breasts. Richard, he wants me to do things. He wants me to throw stuff out there. Yeah. But I think, at the very beginning, I was kind of thinking, oh, if I do the wrong thing, Richard will be mad. Mm-hmm. But, I kind of got that out of my head. So now I feel more free to kind of just experiment with some things.
Yeah, and willing to play.
Right.
And just, see what works and doesn't work, and right.
Yep, and if Richard doesn't like it, he'll just tell me.
Right, and if he does like it, he also tells you.
Yeah.
So.
It feels really good when he likes it.
I know.
Like, Richard's been saying, it's a very emotional, very passionate show. Yeah. I think it really can make people feel something. Mm-hmm.
It's also very funny, and we need to point that out too, because I realized, Richard hones in on the intensity of it and how the longing and, those deep feelings the audience will have. But I laugh a lot through it. And maybe that's that's the essence of dark comedy.
Dramedy?
A
or
dramedy? Yeah.
Something like that?
So you have to have both sides. You have to have the comedy and the laughter, which makes the intense parts more visceral.
My character's brother, Treat, he has a very volatile temper. He always has mood swings. One minute he's, about to snap and break a window, and the next minute he's joking around and having fun.
Right. Yeah. It's like real people.
Right.
But I feel like, and Richard and I talked about this too, the play ends actually on a hopeful note. There has been some really good change that has occurred in the two brothers that that wouldn't have happened otherwise.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a dark, depressing play. It is actually has lots of elements.
Right. Well, maybe dark,
Everything.
depressing, but intense.
Intense, yeah.
Um,
Okay, ready for some weird questions?
Sure.
Okay, what's in your pockets right now?
You want me to empty them?
Yeah, put them right here.
I got my phone.
Uh-huh.
Got the microphone battery. I got wireless earbuds.
Okay, you got big pockets.
And my car keys.
All right.
I usually have my wallet in my back pocket too, but that's in my car right now.
Okay, and it'd probably be hard to sit for a while with your.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a test for you.
Oh God.
This is the prop switchblade.
Okay.
Can you open it?
No?
I couldn't either.
How the hell does this work?
All right, you fail.
All right, I'm sorry.
Moving on. Do aliens exist?
I mean, yeah, probably. The universe is endless. And I do have to say, if they are real, which I think they are, but and they're capable of interdimensional space travel, what would they want to do with our planet? We don't have interdimensional space travel. They'd just be like, oh wow, those guys are living like cavemen. See you later.
And they'd move on.
They'd move on.
They'd move on. Okay, a future human. 3 things that you would like to pass on.
I guess just try your best to be polite. Look out for your neighbor, and your neighbor will look out for you. I guess just try to be as charitable as you possibly can.
I love those. Oh, who was your first crush?
Oh, Gina Davis.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you know who Jerry Springer is?
Oh, of course I do.
Because Richard was saying that people your age would not.
Oh, I actually love the Jerry Springer Show. Yeah, I still sometimes rewatch old episodes.
Last book you read?
Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy.
Ah,
Yeah.
did you like it?
I loved it. I love Cormac McCarthy. Again, I like intense, kind of gut-wrenching stuff, and Blood Meridian is just that. Yeah, very, very violent and kind of nihilistic. So it's not for everybody, but
It's just so funny to hear. Okay, so there's sort of a running theme to this interview a little bit, and you are the sweetest, most charming person,
Thank
or
you.
at least that's how it comes across. So, yeah. Anyway, okay, back to happy. Okay, so what's the happiest memory you have?
probably going to my sister's wedding back in June.
Great. Yeah.
So that whole trip was a lot of fun. Jackie and I drove down to Colorado Springs, where my sister lives, and I honestly never realized how like beautiful Iowa and Nebraska are. I mean, people talk about it. It's like, oh, it's nothing but cornfield. It's nothing but flat land. But
No.
from what I saw, it was pretty green. Had a lot of hills and
In the sky.
And the
You
sky
can really
is
see the
just
sky.
beautiful. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah, so it was a very beautiful drive. It was a really nice wedding. I never understood why people cried at weddings until it was my sister.
Aw, see?
Yeah.
You're not as dark as you want us to think.
Okay.
All right, Jimmy Knapp, who plays Phillip in Orphans. Thank you for sitting with me and just hanging out and talking about all kinds of things.
Thank you.
So, yeah, you're very welcome. So come see this. Jimmy is amazing.
No, stop.
You stop.
Okay.